Then it says going live. Happy hump day. It's hump day, happy chat. It's time for the hump day, happy chat. Hump day, happy chat. It's time for the hump day, hump day, happy chat. It's time for the hump day, happy chat. Hump day, happy chat. It's time for the hump day, happy chat. Hello there. Happy Wednesday. Hump day, happy chat time. I'm going to take a sip of water. Hot water with lemon and cinnamon. That's how I say cinnamon in my world. Cinnamon. Well, I say cinnamon too, obviously, because I just said it. But cinnamon is my favorite way to say it. Hello, how are you out there in the world, in Facebook land, and other places where this video might be shared? I'm Valerie Shepard. I'm coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self Mastery, where we shepherd you into this glorious place where you have mastered yourself in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Whatever your life brings your way. And so these weekly little me popping into your life, if you let me, are to give you some life hackings, some life hacks, hashtag life hackings, so that you can create the life that you really love living. That's what I'm all about. Like I've had the whole struggle, strive, work hard, struggle, strive, work hard, blip, happiness, struggle, strive, work hard, tiny blip of happiness, and then back to the grind, back to the struggle. If you're living your life that way, I'm here to tell you there's a better way to do it. Well, I don't think we have to give it a better or worse. We could just say one that you might like better, one that serves you better. That would be what I would want for you, is that you would choose the way that serves you the best. I'm going to check and see what we got here on Facebook because I'm, not the best producer of my own show. One of these days, I will have a dedicated producer and we'll be working in concert and it'll all look phantasmagorically perfect. Not that it doesn't right now, but I won't have to be managing so many buttons at the same time. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another beautiful day where I am in Southern California, and that doesn't stop my nose from running. It just does it. I had someone tell me the other day, as you get older, things inside your nose change and your nose just starts running more. What? I say no, thank you, please, to that. I'm constantly, you should have seen me. I went camping this past weekend, and every time I reached into my pocket, I pulled out um, many tissues and paper towels and napkins and everything else you can imagine to try and keep my nose from running down my face, or not my nose, but what's in my nose. We won't talk about that. So, anyway, we're here about self mastery. What I teach is rooted in three things: self awareness, self acceptance, and self love. And no, we're not creating a whole new army of narcissistic people. Self awareness, self acceptance, and self love are the foundations of a life well lived. Like if you don't know yourself, you can't bring the best of yourself into your situations. And this is how we create happiness. I wrote in my book, which is right behind me, Living Happy to Be Me, Dancing Your Soul Light Style. Sidebar, it's won 6 awards for excellence. So you might trust it to give you some good advice, some good examples, some good stories about how to make your life the best it can be. Um, it's about raising your consciousness in order to reach your fullest possible potential. And so today, the topic that we're going to talk about is how do you find out how strong you are? How do you find out how strong you are? So I'm an athlete, or I have been. I'm recovering my way back into doing more of the sports that I like since the brain hemorrhage. There are things I just don't do well anymore. Like watching me run is probably hilarious. I try, I get out there and, give it a good effort. It's funny. It's funny even to me. It's probably dangerous unless I'm on the grass or maybe in the sand. I probably couldn't do it in the sand. I haven't tried that yet. Um, but I've learned how to shoot archery. Shout out to my brother who is like a master, amazing level, and my sister-in-law Heidi, who's also right up there shooting really powerful numbers in competition. And I'm like a little baby steps, but it helps me try and rehab this right side, my right shoulder, my right arm. Um, and so I do athletic things. And any athlete knows like it's a constant reaching for that next outer edge of your potential. It's a constant effort to create a relationship with that you and watch that you go even further, even faster, even higher, even better. It's just constant um, I don't want to use militaristic terms, but it's an attack. I mean, you're constantly reaching and like pulling and propelling yourself toward something more, toward what more can this physical body do? My Adobe is trying to update itself, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that right now. So today I wanted to talk about how do you find out how strong you are? So we've all had hardships. Think of illness, injury, change of employment status, loss of income, change in relationship status, natural disasters, um, death, transitioning off the planet can create hardship for everyone who's left behind. Military deployment creates hardship for the people who are left. That's my side of the family. My experience of military deployment was the family being here while my father was off serving this country through the United States Marine Corps in Vietnam and other places. So hardships, trials and tribulations, difficult experiences, problems. That's the way Merriam-Webster defines trials and tribulations, the stuff that comes along that makes life hard, makes your experience of your life hard, makes you question whether, like, what am I here for? This is not what I signed up for. And so a lot of people walk through life, and right now there are a lot of people who are really in this inquiry of why is my life so hard? Why is this happening? And so one of the perspectives that I want to share is that, and this is what I believe, this is the way I deal with hardships in my life now. And even after writing that book, it's not like my life is all hunky dory, peachy keen, right? What has happened is I'm much better able to work in harmony with the laws of the universe. So beautiful things happen through that alignment. That's a talk for another day, but it's good and juicy and delicious. And and I'm also better able to handle the stuff that shows up that throws me for a loop. Now the loop and the throw are nowhere near as big as they used to be. That's because I've come into a different relationship with the dynamics that happen in my life, the trials and tribulations that happen in my life, the dynamic, how I receive them, how I experience them has shifted. It's shifted into a place where I'm in a much more what I call right relationship with the experiences of my life. And I don't let any of them run me. Like I make conscious choices to run my life. I don't let any of the experiences run me. That's called being at effect. So you can be the causal nature in your life, or you can be at effect. So at effect is like the tail on the dog, right? Stuff happens and the tail's just kind of tagging along. And sometimes the tail might get, heaven forbid, stepped on, heaven forbid, caught in the door, right? There are times when being at effect is painful, does not serve me, not a choice I want to make. In my past, in the what I call in my book the asleep at the wheel period of my life, where I thought I was just trying to manage all those external things and trying to get love, and unfortunately in a lot of the wrong places, and wanting to feel better about myself by how other people felt about me. Those were all being at effect, the effect of what they did. And what do? The effect of that situation and what it brought into my life. I have now grown into a maturity around experiencing hardship and experiencing trials and tribulations. Um, One of my trials and tribulations has been going on for over 5 years. That's obviously the physiological ramifications of a brain hemorrhage. Things have gotten much better. I am, you know, eternally grateful to the different physiotherapists, spiritual counselors that have helped me walk this path in joy and peace and love and healing. And I'm working with an amazing guy right now. His name is Josue Barrera. He is he's certified in a whole bunch of different things that I don't even completely understand, but one of them is restorative musculature healing. And so he can look at my body and he'll come back. We have sessions a couple times a week and he'll pick something and go deep. Like, well, there's a muscle layer on the top, but there's another one underneath it. And we have to get to that layer because I think that's what's preventing you from blah, blah, blah. And he is amazing. So shout out to Josue. And he does video sessions, and I get to see him live with my COVID mask on and stuff like that. But he serves people from who are not able to see him up close and personal, and he's phenomenal. And I feel some, even after this long, there is some evolution going on in the healing. So, what is this all about? Like, what are these trials and tribulations? Everything happening in our lives is happening for us. Everything is happening for us. So I believe that trials and tribulations, and the way I've experienced them in my life, is that they give me an opportunity to explore the outer edge of me. What does that mean? In leadership, in parenting, in career progression, in identifying your purpose, in athletics, in just about every aspect of what you do, there's an outer edge, right? We're not all born experts. And even when we grow our expertise to this masterful level, there's still an outer edge of where that mastery tapers off, where our best may not be the best, right? The best, relatively speaking. And so our question is always, where's my outer edge of growth? And what more is there for me to learn about myself by going there, by attempting to be living at that outer edge of my ability? Like, what more is possible? That's one of my favorite affirmations. It's a question, but I feel it as an affirmation of there is more possible, right? What more is possible? Not is more possible. What more? What is the more that is possible? And how do I give it to myself? Not wait for it to show up. Please, please bring it to me. Please, please. No, I'm not entreating anyone. I'm declaring inside me, there is more. What is it? How do I discover it? How do I be it? How do I express it? So in my athletic career, it was always about the stamina, the endurance, the speed. As a sprinter, knocking a tenth of a second off my time was a big deal. As a soccer player, it was always about, I played defense mostly. So it was always about taking on a really skilled winger or center, like taking them on one and getting the ball away. It was always about how much more can I do? How, save the day, like taking the 3-point shot in the last 2 seconds of the game to pull out the win. So it's always about like that outer edge of my exquisite excellence coming from within. You'll hear people say you got to dig deep. You got to dig deep. And when I think about what does that mean in the story of mastering yourself in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way, what does that mean? Digging deep means what you're looking for, it's already inside you. It's already inside you. It's a matter of cleaning out the stuff that might be covering it over, obscuring it to your awareness, to your awareness. But the essence of you already has been anointed, and it's inside you to be discovered by you. And so for reaching, propelling, catapulting yourself to overcome challenges and to deal with trials and tribulations and hardships, it's about going within. It's never going to be about comparing yourself to others and what they did or what they didn't do or how much they accomplished when they were your age. Those are great things to know. I love studying history. I love to know what others have done in a certain realm that I'm interested in. Right now I'm teaching myself piano, and when I think about getting my right hand to play a chord, like the effort that it's taking is really monumental, and it's um, it's really kind of invigorating and fulfilling to just allow myself to go there. And when my right side gets tired of trying to hold my right hand to do this, I just play with my left hand. And it's amazing to me that I can play with my left hand. I can do chords on my left hand much better than I can on my right. But it's not about comparing myself to others and, well, I don't play as well as they do, or I don't play as well as a 7-year-old. I don't play as well as most beginners. And that's okay with me because it's not about playing as well as them. It's about playing in a way that brings me joy, and that's all I care about. And then also trying not to make the neighbors crazy with my banging. I love music and I'm having a ton of fun. And I have to shout out right now to um, Lisa and Steve, who gifted me my petite baby grand piano. It's amazing. You can go on my personal Facebook page and you'll see the pictures of her. I think I'm calling her. I don't know. But so this pressure that you feel, it's the stuff that's inside you is there to support you. It's there to support you. You can't look at other people's challenges and other people's successes and decide that yours is only going to be something relative to theirs. Look at them for fun. Look at them for maybe, I wonder how they did this. Could I apply that in my life? What more is possible if I did that? But not to hold your peak or to notice how far down you could go. So the pressure that you feel in your life, the dynamics in your life that feel like trials, tribulations, and hardships, it's truly happening for you, unique to you. There may be millions having that same hardship, but the experience that you have of it in your life is specific to you and your journey. That's why it's worthless to go commiserate with everybody who's doing the same thing. It doesn't necessarily serve you because it's not about that. It's about you in a dance relationship with whatever the trial and tribulation, whatever the trials and tribulations are. And this dance is getting you polished. It's getting you practiced. It's getting you perfected. It's giving you the specific and detailed evolutionary plan for you to achieve your highest potential, for you to come into a relationship with your greatness. Have you ever had people give you compliments and you're kind of like, it feels kind of ooey, like I'm not sure I can wear that. What are who are they seeing? I have. Actually, I'm getting a much clearer understanding of who the voice is that is saying I'm not that, while others and myself are saying I am. So this opportunity is for you to come into right relationship with your greatness. Again, not from a narcissism, everybody has to see my greatness, but for you to stand in it and express it. That's how you bring your magic, your gifts, your blessings, your anointing into your world in service to yourself and others. It's juicy and delicious. I heard once someone say, it's not the size of the problem, it's the heart of the person. So, how big is your heart, and how practiced are you at opening up your heart to receive the trials and tribulations of your life as the avenue, the roadway to experiencing and expressing your greatness? So, what do? So, the first step is please go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself. It's okay to feel fear. I feel fear probably once or twice a day. It's just about it's not about not feeling the fear. It's about not allowing the fear to run my life, to dictate my responses to things, to control me. But I allow myself to feel it. That way it dissipates. It's just a wave of energy. I say hello to it. Hello, fear. You've protected me in the past. I appreciate your presence in my life. And I have superiority over fear. It's okay to feel fatigue along the way. The fatigue is letting us know we need a chance to take a break to regenerate. Your cells, your bones, everything inside your body is in a constant state of regeneration. And sometimes we need to step off the path. I spent this past weekend camping and I did nothing most of the time, sit by the campfire and talk and a little eating to regenerate. Give myself time to regenerate. It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to feel fatigue. It's okay to question what is happening. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this where I'm supposed to be living? Is this who I'm supposed to be with? Is this what on earth? It's okay to question. That's how you refine. So, what you're being called to do in this go easy on yourself is to compassionately nurture yourself through the trials and tribulations and hardships by making sure you're getting enough rest, by making sure you're eating and drinking well, by leveraging tools like meditation and contemplation, journaling, and really important tools like fun, laughter, and movement. I love Tai Chi as a way of focusing myself. Still your energy on the inside first, and then you're prepared to take on what's going on in the outer world. And in the outer world, some things you can do are talk like you have the power to overcome. Plan to succeed, even when all you can see right now is defeat. Talking success in the midst of what looks like defeat is not Pollyanna. That's called faith. That's called faith. Continuing to walk toward the lightness when all you can see is darkness. That's called faith. Believing it's there. That's called trust. I know it's there. I called it in. It's looking for me. Carry yourself like a champion, even in the midst of, well, I didn't do that so well. And that's just something I did or didn't do. This is who I am. Carry yourself like that championship. Expect, expect, expect. Can I say it again? Expect. Underneath expectation is a firm belief. Expect favor. Expect blah, blah, blah. Expect special blessings. Say that fast 6 times. Expect special blessings. When it seems like that all is lost, believe there is still more possible. What more is possible than what I'm experiencing in this moment? Believe in the possible. Believe in going beyond all the odds. Another thing to do, continually sharpen your saw. You might actually ask for challenging assignments, not so that you can prove yourself. I did that to try and prove that I was worthy. That really tired me out and actually built up some resentment in me. I didn't like always having to prove to some other people that I was worthy, that I was smart, that I was talented, that I was capable. So it's asking for the challenging assignments, not to prove yourself to others, but so that you can get to know, accept, unleash, and express your highest self, your most potentialed self, so that you can come into knowing, accepting, unleashing, and expressing that aspect of you. And every challenge in your life gives you that further opportunity to live and be that for yourself and others. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Conscious being of choice that you are. I added that last part. You are a conscious being of choice, as Satyen Raja would say. And Ralph Waldo Emerson says, you become the person you decide to be. Another quote I like in this conversation is by Fernando Flores. Great work is done by people who are not afraid to be great. Great work is done by people who are not afraid to be great. Have you ever felt like you have greatness in you and you just don't know how to get it out of you? There are times when I'm like, why am I not completing this task? Am I afraid of the greatness that it would demonstrate? You might want to go into that aspect of you and see how you dance with it differently to bring the greatness up and out of you. There is a space inside you that knows that it knows that it knows that nothing is impossible for you. Even if it's been impossible for everyone who walked the path before you, it is not impossible for you. You know that too. You may only have flashes of the knowledge. And so then it's just about getting the flash to last longer. But that's an inner journey. That's you working with you. You're stronger, wiser, more capable, more loving than you accept. And each time you realize this and accept a little bit more, go after a little bit more strength. I'll go after a little bit more wisdom. I'll go after a little bit more compassion. How can I be more compassionate? It's one of my quests. How can I be more compassionate with myself so that I can be more compassionate with others? Every time you reach for that outer edge, how strong am I? The outer edge, you're deepening your connection to the reservoir of greatness that is always already inside you, waiting to be expressed into your life. It's always there. That's reaching your highest potential. I see you doing it. I see me living it. Let's do it together. And before I close with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha, I just want to remind everyone the Hump Day Happy Chat is going private. It is moving into my private group called the Bliss Collective. So it will no longer be broadcast from the Positively Happy to Be Me Facebook page for my book. It's going into the Bliss Collective. And I've posted the link. It's facebook.com/groups with an S /the Bliss Collective. 3 words, the Bliss Collective. I'll be broadcasting from there starting the first Wednesday in March. So we have one more Wednesday here on Positively Happy to Be Me. That's next week. And I'll see you then. Until then, stay well, be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Many blessings. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sharing. You could be a gift in someone's life today by just sharing this video with them. Many blessings. Lots of love. Bye now.